Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you with 100 Miracles in 100 Days project, plus the fifth dimension activation and effortless manifesting quickie. Take a big breath in, or as big as you can. Breathe out through the mouth. Do this several times, please. Until you can feel your awareness moving back into your being, into your gorgeous being of light. And at which time you can return your breath to in through the nose and out through the nose, and continue to breathe and release as we begin our miracle 43 it is. And I just want to let you know that I have been meditating in the fifth dimension since dawn, so for about the last 3 hours. So fasten your seat belts. And the way to get the most out of these activations, in case you just landed here today, is to just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose unless you're releasing. If anything comes up for you, which it may very well do, because I'm pretty damn powerful, especially after I've meditated for 3 hours, then just breathe through that and welcome it to come up. Burp, yawn, sneeze, fart, do whatever you need to do to let that energy come to the surface. And just breathe. And understand I'm not making you feel anything. I'm just so damn powerful I can bring your poop out with you just listening to me. So just breathe. And let it go. Everything you feel is within you. Everything. Nobody makes you feel anything. Nobody. That's what's the matter with the whole planet. We're blaming everyone else and looking at it from a little tiny 3D perspective instead of seeing that there is this huge, huge, huge other thing happening on planet Earth. And when you get it, you can't see it in 3D. You can only see it when you get up to 5D in the quantum and above. That there is absolute magic happening on Earth, and you can either keep playing down in the 3D and struggle, or you can bring your energy field up and live in bliss. Just breathe. Just breathe. So we're going to start with the fifth dimension activation quickie. As I mentioned, if you want to know more about the awareness side of things, you can go back and listen to the very first activation in December, early December. But since there's been a big shift, since I worked with those 10,000 healers recently, I've shifted my awareness back to working with the fifth dimension, because it's the thing that I know best and the thing that I can teach best, and the fastest way I know to bring anyone up out of their poop and into the light. And we will be teaching a 10-week program coming up, but some more details on that later. If you want to join us in connecting to the fifth dimension, breathe. Just breathe. And know that you're an infinitely powerful being of light. And it might be underneath a whole pile of poop, and you may not be able to feel anything from this activation, but that does not mean that something truly powerful is not happening for you. It just means that you've got a lot of stuff going on. But I promise you, there has just been so many examples. Too many. There's 4 decades of testimonials on my website of people whose lives have been dramatically changed from connecting to the fifth dimension. And some people have to listen for 5 or 10 days to get through the poop to be able to start hearing stuff. But the key is to listen every day. So let us begin. I'm going to teach you the first step of the fifth dimension. And this will help you get on your way. As I think I mentioned yesterday, there was a lady who, was struggling in every way. Couldn't even put food on her table a couple of months ago. And she began by just doing this one step. Then she began to do all of my free stuff here on my YouTube. And in less than a month, she had manifested $36,000 a year for the rest of her life. This and more can happen for you if you open yourself up to the fifth dimension. So just become aware of your breath and your center. And I want you to breathe in and point your fingers to the sun and breathe in. Take your hands up and tie the energy from the end of your fingers around the sun and breathe out into the sun. Then breathe in and bring the energy down from the sun, a big scoop of golden energy down from the sun, and you breathe in. Breathe it out through your crown chakra and let your entire being be flooded by this golden light from the sun, and take the last 5% of that energy down and into the core of Mother Earth, where you'll find another big golden sun. You're going to take a scoop of that gorgeous energy from the center of Mother Earth, containing all the minerals and nutrients and everything you need to sustain your physical life here on Earth. Breathe it up. Breathe it out into your body and take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathing in again from the sun. Filling your entire body with beautiful source light from the sun. As you breathe out, take the last 5% down into the earth. Breathe in and bring the energy back up from the earth. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathing in again. Bring the energy. So simple. Spirituality should be simple. It's just a whole pile of people who made it complicated, so you keep needing them. We just want you to awaken. Breathe in, draw that energy down from the sun. Flood your entire body with that source light and breathe out the last 5%. Tie it around the earth. And then breathe in and bring all that energy from earth back up. Let it flood every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being, all 100 trillion of them, and take the last 5% up to the sun. Now, it's best to do this standing barefoot out on Mother Earth. But you do not, if it's snowing or if it's nighttime, although this is best done in the morning because it might keep you awake if you do it at night. It is best done first thing in the morning. And you can just imagine you're standing barefoot on Mother Earth and that the sun is out. Because no matter where you are in the world, the sun is out somewhere. And we know this works because I used to teach this in classes when I first arrived in Melbourne, 18 years ago. And we would teach these in classes. And so I'm just remembering something about when I first started teaching the class in Melbourne. Sorry, it just dropped in. And it would be nighttime, and we would still have these profound connections to the fifth dimension. So I want you to continue that breath, breathing the energy down from the sun it's best to do it for about 20 minutes every day. And if you can do it up to an hour, 2 hours, it's even, if you're sick, you'll be surprised at how fast it can heal your body. So breathing energy down from the sun, breathe the sunlight into your 100 trillion cells, take the last 5% down into earth, breathe in, and you're just focusing on your breath when you're doing it. Breathe in, bring the energy up from the earth. The breath draws the energy. Breathe it out into your body, take the last 5% up to the sun. If you're unwell and you can't breathe deeply, just do the best you can with the breath. The key is to follow the breath. And it's from here that you can manifest anything. That's why we call it effortless manifesting. In the fifth dimension, you just ask for what you want and it usually shows up. There's no chanting every day and doing affirmations, oh, I'm abundant and all that. There's no point in doing all that stuff if you're still hanging out in 3D, I've got to tell you. Well, you might eventually manifest something, but it's fucking hard work, I've got to tell you. You can do it so much easier by just stepping into the fifth dimension and awakening the infinite part of you that's been buried underneath your 1% physical being, and all the stuff that you've been told is what you need to do to be a successful human being. It's underneath all of that stuff. That's only 1% of who you are. That's what the awareness activation will teach you if you want to know about that. But you are this infinitely powerful being of light, and that's 99.39% of you is what they used to call junk space, but they're now recognizing, oh, that's a part of you that's connected to the entire universe. So here's another. This is miracle number 43, and this is another powerful, powerful fifth dimension miracle that happened within weeks of this gentleman beginning to work with me. And again, so it shows how powerful we all are if we'll just let go of the rubbish. So I want you to continue that connection to the first step to the fifth dimension while I tell you this wonderful story about this wonderful man who was a client of mine. He was an acupuncturist, but much more than that. He did Chinese medicine, but he specialized in birthing babies. Chinese do some pretty cool stuff as well, but he came to me with energetic blockage that not even Chinese medicine had been able to shift in 15 or 18 years. His testimonial is on my website, so I'm not talking out of turn here. And within the first session, I think, of the fifth dimension work I did with him, it left, and so he continued to work with me. He had a client that was having a baby. He had gone on holidays for 2 weeks and he expected then he got back from the 2 weeks that the baby would have been born, but it wasn't. And they had done a scan that showed that the baby's shoulder was caught in a pelvis. And Winton decided that he would try a fifth dimension technique of his own, which I just love. But he was so he was terrified that it wasn't going to work because it was his first time he'd ever done anything. So he asked the woman to close her eyes and not look at him. So he asked her to close. He connects to the fifth dimension. He asked the woman to close her eyes and connect from the sun down through her heart and through the heart of a baby and out into the thing. And she opens her eye, looks at me, goes, "Don't look at me." And he then tells the woman to speak to her baby and tell the baby to lift itself up. And again, she sort of looks at him and he goes, no, just focus on your baby and connecting to her heart and asking her to lift herself up. And then next thing, the woman's screaming, "Oh, she's lifting up, she's lifting up, she's lifting up." And he goes, "Okay, okay." He got all excited as well and says, "Now ask the baby to just turn whatever it needed to turn." I can't remember those details now. 10% to the left, 10% to the right, whatever it was to move the baby off the pelvis. And the woman was just like, "Oh my God, I can feel her moving, I can feel her moving." Anyway, and then she settles back down and her shoulders, she could feel that the baby wasn't caught on her pelvis. Oh, this makes me so happy, this miracle. I so love this miracle. And then the baby was born within 5 hours later. I'm tingling all over remembering this miracle. It was just the power of this miracle. That's the power that exists within you. He'd barely been working with me just a number of weeks, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks when he did this. So the fifth dimension and beyond exists within you. It has always existed within you. It's in that 99.39%. And the reason, society gets you to focus on what you look like, what shape your body is, what color your hair is, or your skin is, or what kind of job you have, or what kind of, house you have, or the car you drive. It's because it moves you away from this infinitely powerful being of light you are. So that's our miracle 43. Beautiful, beautiful baby born perfectly well. The lady had not wanted to have a cesarean. That's why she had come back to Wint. She didn't want to have a cesarean. She wanted her baby to be born naturally. Can you imagine if we empowered women to have their babies born naturally in this way? Breathe. There was just one of quite a number of groovy things that Winter was able to do in his clinic when he took the connection to the fifth dimension and molded it into his work and what his gift was to the world, which was bringing babies into the world naturally. Breathe. So how you will do the fifth dimension will show up how it's meant to show up for you. Breathe. Breathe in, and the very first step of that is connecting and coming into alignment with the earth and the sun. It is the first step of 5 steps. I am running a fifth dimension, become a powerful, certified fifth dimension activator, where you will be able to activate the fifth dimension in yourself and anyone else on a one-on-one basis. We will teach you how to connect to the fifth dimension, how to balance all of your meridian lines, your chakras, and your aura, how to work with crystals, how to work with children, how to use the fifth dimension to create a more rich, abundant life for you. There's so much in there. How to use that energy to disconnect from negative energies that maybe have been present in your life in the past. The biggest thing we're going to teach you to do is to connect to your higher guidance, to your highest self, to your divine I am presence, to your supreme intelligence, whatever name you want to call the God, Goddess within you. That program will start somewhere between mid-April to early March. We haven't got a set date because I have to move house shortly. But I've been teaching in the fifth dimension since 1997 when Spirit taught to me. Sorry, I learnt the fifth dimension in 1997. I've been teaching it since about 2002, 2001, 2002. So all of this century I've been teaching it, but I opened a temple in Melbourne in 2009, somewhere around then, and taught a bunch of people to become fifth dimensional spiritual healer and teachers as well. So just breathe. So if you would like to be, and we're offering this course because it's the first one we're doing as an online course. I've taught in the fifth dimension for When we taught that course back in 2009, I think it was $5,995, and then I went on to teach it one-on-one, and it went up to $11,110 to do that course with me one-on-one. We will now be teaching this very first course for $2,222 Australian, which is about $1,600 US. And we're opening up the first one to about 10 people, roughly 10, 11 people. After that, the course will be $2,888. So you're going to save $666 if you do this first one with me. It will be live. I will be there live every week. And there will also be a Ask Me Anything or question and answer session every week as well. So you also receive, for the full 10 weeks, you will receive what we know as divine soul support. And usually people, from the time they decide they're going to do this, and sometimes, well, it's definitely from the time they pay, and sometimes from the time they decide and they pay, then Source just steps in and begins working with you. And we don't know why that's happening, but it's why I originally had to take my business online, because people would ring up and make an appointment and be healed before they got there and kept cancelling their appointments. And it wasn't until a lovely lady showed up and said, everything just disappeared from the time I made the appointment, but I wanted to show up and pay you. I went, oh, that's why Source is telling me to go online. So, because people had to pay for their appointments when they book them. So I am so excited to be back in the game. I kept bitching all the time about all the rubbish that was around about the fifth dimension, because so many people are waiting for a spaceship to come get them, or waiting for someone to save them. That's not what the fifth dimension is. Yes, there's a lot of spacecrafts around because they're trying to get you to wake the fuck up, but that is not, they're not coming to save you. And then they get really pissed when they don't save them. They're trying to encourage you to step into the light of who you are and stop playing in the poo, stop playing in the 3D stuff, which is just one dimension of it. There's so many, even beyond the fifth dimension. After we do the fifth dimension, we'll do a quantum activator course, because beyond the fifth dimension is another extraordinary dimension of light that's beyond that as well. But you need to train your body to go from one level of light to another, so that you don't have a lot of people who get moved too quickly have kundalini rising experiences that are not very good for them. So if your body isn't at a state of being able to handle that kind of frequency. So we are starting with the fifth dimension activator program. We would love, love, love for you to join us. And if you would, please contact us through our website, www.elmaraseraphim.com. And you can find those details below the video. If I haven't got to put them on for this day, you just go to the day before that and you'll find them there. But yeah, so let's just breathe. If you've moved away from that, just bring your awareness back to breathing in and drawing the energy down from the sun. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% down into the earth. Breathe in and scoop that energy from earth all the way back up with your hands. Breathe that energy out through your body, which I just moved my hands up the front of my chakras. Take the last 5% up to the sun. If you move your hands, it helps you get in quicker. It stops the monkey mind. That's why Tai Chi and Qigong work so well. So breathe in. Draw the energy down from the sun. Breathe it out into your body and then I just help guide that energy with my hands down the front of my body. Point it to the sun to the earth, as it goes out through my feet. Tie the energy around the earth, and I do a little circle for that. Then breathe in and scoop the energy from earth back up. Let it flood every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being. And breathe out. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in, drawing all that energy down from the sun. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% down into the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And you could hold it for as long as it's comfortable. I'm just kind of trying to pick a speed that would be good for people. But just breathe at your own rate, because you can breathe a lot faster than I can tell you how to do that. But I can kind of breathe in for, half a minute, and hold it for that long and let it out. I can't do that here because you'll all have fainted, I think, unless you're used to training yourself to do that. So just breathe in. Hold that source light from the sun in your body as long as it's comfortable. Breathe it out into the cells. Take the last 5% down into earth. Breathe in. And breathe out. And trust me, even if you can't afford the $2,222, if you continue to just do this first step and listen to all these free activations we've been doing for you here on my YouTube channel, every day do something to raise your frequency. Like Jackie, you will see your life shift from poverty and scarcity and being sad and miserable into bliss. And as Jackie said, the first time she did this, there's a testimonial about that on my website, I think. She didn't have to guess whether it was working. She could feel instantly that it was working. And that's because you're an intricate part of this earth, which has all been cut off from you through blooming phones and Facebook and all this other rubbish that is so meaningless, really, in the big scheme of things. So breathe. And I'm just going to send you some more gorgeous fifth-dimensional light, which you can just breathe in and ask for this energy to upgrade your life, your relationships, your work, your finances, anything. Or you can just heal your body. Just breathe it in to your heart and let it spread throughout your entire being from head to toe, skin to bone. Still feeling immense joy from remembering that miracle. Probably because I was connecting into the newborn baby. The reason we all love newborn babies is because they're pure. They're still connected to the source light. Nobody's got in and fucked them up with all their beliefs and shoulds and shouldn'ts and your rote learning, 1 + 1 = 2 and all that kind of stuff. That's why we all flock to them. That's the essence of who you are before all the stuff gets piled in on top of it. I think if I hadn't done this work, I would have been a midwife. I have been at the birth of several of my friends' babies, and when you know energy, there is something truly magnificent that happens as a baby comes down the birth canal and into the world. Breathe. Okay, so that's our miracle number 43 done for today. Energy is just gorgeous. It's probably because I have been meditating for 3 hours myself. I have a cut on my hand, a big cut. Well, it's not really a cut. It's a big, big scratch from my big, big pussycat. It goes from my wrist all the way up to my little finger. I scared him. I was patting him and we were having a loving moment and he was on his back and I was rubbing his belly, and I must have stopped to pick up my phone or whatever, and he fell off to sleep. And then I just put my hand back down to rub his belly, and I must have frightened him. He was a rescue cat. He was in a terrible state when I got him. He'd been on the streets for over 8 months. Nobody could catch him. And I must have just brought something back because he just used his back legs to kind of kick because I must have frightened him, and he's cut my hand. It's not healing so well. So I spent 3 hours in the fifth dimension because I went, this is getting healed today, because it's been there over a week. And it's hard to heal because of all the creases in your hand. Every time I move my hand, it splits open again. So that's why I was spending 3 hours in the fifth dimension, because I knew it would heal my hand. So, and it has by the look of it. It's not splitting open when I move it, so that's the first good sign. Alrighty. And you will learn, if you do the fifth dimensional training, you can use this fifth dimensional energy for everything, for absolutely everything. One of the things that we used to say, and we still do, everything is possible in the fifth dimension, absolutely everything. And that is what you're about to learn, because for the rest of these 100 miracles and 100 days, we're going to share heaps and heaps and heaps of fifth dimensional miracles with you. Alrighty. My heart is so full of joy, I don't want to disconnect here. So full of 5D goodies. Oh, just breathe. I'm just drawn to say this to you too, because I can hear some, but you didn't go through what I went through. I can tell you I went through a lot. I went through a lot. That's how I began to search for something better really early, like really early on. I had a terrible childhood, but I don't focus on that. And I know this to be true. My my first spiritual teacher used to say, if you can find out the purpose of something happening, you can move out of being a victim into living a life that's filled with purpose. And I can tell you that that is the truth. She also used to say, when you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. She was really practical and down to earth, and you'll find that's why I am a practical, down to earth spiritual teacher as well. And by that she meant, like, if you look on nature, if a fruit's on a tree and it's green, it's growing, but if it's ripe, it just drops to the ground and it rots. And what she's saying is, when you finish growing, you're going home. You're going to rot in the ground, so to speak, you know. So when you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. But also that I had an horrendous childhood, but I have transmuted all that stuff into power. That's why I'm very powerful. It's also the reason that no matter what when you've got stuff going on, because I've transmuted my darkness to light, and I see you as a whole, complete being, whatever is out of alignment with your soul is brought up from just listening to me speak, because I've already transmuted darkness to light. And if you're feeling stuff, that's your stuff. It's just that you're probably not used to having someone as powerful as me activate it and bring it to the surface in literally minutes. And that's the gift that I bring to the world. And you can run away from that and blame me and go, ooh, she's terrible. She made me feel sad. She made me feel like shit or whatever. Or you can own that and just breathe into it. That's the gift you've got. If you just listen to these activations and breathe, yawn, burp, fart, do anything that comes up and just breathe with it and continue to do. If a particular activation activates you more than others, then do it again and again until that energy is released. Because it's just energy coming up. And they're some of the most powerful healers in the world, burp, yawn, whatever, because they're releasing stuff for their people. They also talk really fast like I do because that's source light coming through them. You don't have to sit there all silent or talk with a plum in your mouth. That's not what a spiritual teacher is. You can do that if you've sat up on top of a mountaintop for hundreds of years, and that's a great thing. You know, the people who do sit up and meditate for years, that's a wonderful thing to be doing. But when you are a really powerful being and you're still trying to speak and shift stuff, it just comes out fast. Sometimes it comes out slow, but most of the time it comes out 100 miles an hour. So, because I have had people come, how come you're so spiritual and you talk so much? Well, people are healed through my voice. That's why I talk so much. That's my gift I bring to the world. Deep, deep codes embedded in my voice. And what's really ironic when you've been doing this a long time to me is that one person will go, oh, I remember I learnt this in 2010 in a 10-day retreat that I was holding. And one person accused me of being aloof, and the other person accused me of being obnoxious, I think it was. No, it might not have been obnoxious, it might have been too gregarious. They were complete opposites. And it turned out the person who said, you're aloof, that was her mother. And the person who accused me of being too outspoken, that's what they called me, too outspoken, that was his father. So people get what they need. You get what you need when you're listening to me, because that's what comes through in my voice to you to help activate the light within you. That's all we're trying to do, is activate your divine I am presence, your highest God, Goddess within you. Because that's who you truly are. The other stuff is just stuff. Alrighty. I wish you a truly, truly blessed day. I really look forward to chatting with those of you who are interested in doing our certified fifth dimension activator training next month. And I'm sending you so much love. And I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.